beautiful friends are back again with another pick a card reading, and I've got my coffee. I hope you've got your coffee or tea or whatever you drink as well, and we are going to start off. Now we're starting off quite differently today. We've already got 4 crystals picked for me by my daughter. So obviously we're going to have 4 piles. You probably can't see that one. That's snowflake obsidian there. We've got rose quartz, we've got selenite, we've got snowflake obsidian, and we've got adventurine. So I'm going to pick 4 cards from my new spirit animal oracle. They're absolutely beautiful, love them to pieces. I've done a silent flip through on my alternative channel, Starlight Divination. If you want to see the full pack in its full glory, we're going to pick 4 cards. I'm going to place them face up. Now, I will have already put the 4 piles in the thumbnail. If you've already picked your pile, just go straight to the pile that you've picked. And oh, Lion Spirit, what a great start. Be generous of spirit. And for pile 2, right, as you probably guessed already from the title, this video is taking a look at blocks and shadow work. Buffalo Spirit, abundant universe will provide. The abundant universe will provide. Blocks and shadow work. That's because as I'm recording this, we are just about to. Mars and Mercury have been retrograde together all over Christmas and the New Year. And Mars is just about, as I'm recording this, to go stationary direct. Wasp spirit, sometimes life stings. Well, that's about right for this. And so it may have been that things have been blocked, things have been slowed down, things have been put on hold. Maybe, like me, you've been coming up against obstacle after obstacle and you want to move forward, you want to push forward, and you just can't do it. Dove Spirit, be peaceful. And that really is, when we get a Mars and Mercury retrograde, I've already done a post of this on my social media about what Mars and Mercury together retrograde could possibly cause. And basically it causes exactly what I've just said, kind of blocks, slowing down, being forced to kind of look at our blocks and our shadows. Now, I do want to explain, because people don't always know exactly what I mean when I'm talking about blocks and shadows. Blocks and shadows are the parts of us that either we don't like and we've suppressed, or that thoughts, beliefs, emotions, energy that cause us to stop or slow down the manifestation of exactly what it is that we want. Now, this can be a physical manifestation, this can be a spiritual manifestation, and we're on a spiritual path. Maybe you're blocked from progressing with your spiritual path, or you feel you're blocked at least, or you're blocked with your path to ascension. Now, when we're ascending or when we're trying to manifest, as we're trying to raise the energy to match that, what happens is the blocks that we have, the thoughts, beliefs that have caused the emotions and the energies that sit in our aura, come up for removal. That means we come face to face with situations that trigger those thoughts, beliefs and energy patterns. What this practically, physically, in a day-to-day, everyday world looks like is either you've been triggered by a person or situation, you feel that you're not getting anywhere towards your goals, or you feel you're blocked from your goals, old thoughts or beliefs patterns come up, old habits that we've wished to remove come up, anything along those lines. What we're looking for is repeating patterns. It may be different people, it may be different situations, but it's the same thought patterns, the same belief patterns, the same habits repeating over and over again. And I've done a whole a whole series of videos, a whole bundle of videos, sorry, on blocks and block removal. There's a couple of videos on YouTube. There's more on my free stuff on my website, but there's even more on my membership site. The full courses on my membership site. The membership site's always expanding. I'm always aiming to put new stuff on there. I know recently a lot has come up around me that I'm seeing people encountering blocks with their aura and their auric layers and their chakras, and I am trying as quickly as possible to create a whole bundle on the energy systems, including chakras, the auric layers, the 12 chakra system, auric layers, the higher self, the kundalini, the toric field, the Dantian, everything hopefully will be included in there, no matter how briefly, but focusing mainly on how to balance and clear your chakras, which will also obviously balance and clear your auric layers, the auric layer related to the particular chakra that's blocked. So that, not very briefly, it kind of like, yeah, I had a lot to say there. I didn't realise the introduction was going to be so long. That really is what this video is going to be like. Where it's going to go, as always with these, we don't really know. But we have lion spirit. Number 1, lion spirit, be generous of spirit with the appropriately with the rose quartz. Buffalo spirit, the abundant universe will provide with the selenite. Wasp spirit, sometimes life stings with the, once again, appropriately, with the snowflake obsidian. And dove spirit, be peace. And I think that's quite appropriate with the green aventurine there. So pick one, pick two. If you start to listen to a reading and you feel it's not resonating with you, please feel free to pick another one that may resonate with you better. And thanks for joining me, and let's get on with the reading. See you there. Hi, pile 1. If you picked lion spirit and the rose quartz, let's get on with your reading. And now I'm going to be picking obviously some cards as we're going through this. But the first thing that came to me, and I did say it appropriate in the introduction, I did find it amazing that the cards lined up so well. Lion spirit and the rose quartz. Now, most people know what rose quartz is. Rose quartz is linked to the heart. The heart chakra can either be pink or green. Green more linked to the chakra, pink more linked to the auric layer, linked to the heart chakra. I'm going to have 3 of these. And lion spirit, be generous of spirit. What this means to me is being generous with your heart space, obviously, and that does take courage. Being loving and kind in this world of contrast can take a lot of courage. That's immediately what came to me. Now, I am going to be, once I pick the cards, I am going to be reading from the book. Shuffle here, but how many? We've got 2. Oh, knock the candle over. Now, I do want to say, actually, it's funny that I knocked the floating candle over there. When I was actually filling the bowl of water with for the floating candle, there was actually a little bug in the water, so I had to empty all the water out, and then I saved a little bug. I don't know whether it was alive or dead. I just normally pour the water on a plant or a plant pot, and if it's alive, hopefully it'll survive. But it immediately made me think of, oh, and that, I guess that one's turning over. Blossom. Well, that's appropriate, isn't it? And the same golden colour is coming through quite strongly here, isn't it? Golden spirit, golden spirit. I don't want to say you probably have some kind of golden colour in your aura. That's the impression that I'm getting here. So I am getting a more advanced souls, more advanced spiritually in terms of your connection with spirit in this group. And let's have 3 of these, and we'll turn these over as we go along. But first I want to read out from the book. The reason I was led to just tell you about the floating candle incident was there are things in life that buggers, aren't there? And very often we do come across blocks when we are trying to be generous of spirit. And like I say, it is hard. It is the hard option in this world of contrast. I know as light workers always try to be kind and thoughtful and generous and help people, but it really genuinely is the harder path. And I know I'm not the only one to feel like that. And things can come along that buggers and blockers, especially if you listen to the introduction. If you didn't listen to the introduction, you probably know from the title anyway that this is all about, this reading is all about blocks that have come up or shadow work. Now, if you're watching at the time that I recorded this, we're just moving into, we've just been through a period when Mars and Mercury are retrograde at the same time, which is kind of like put a hold on everything. It's like we've kind of been held back or blocked so that we can look inside and deal with the blocks. Now, as we're coming up to, as I'm recording this, Mars is like virtually about to go stationary direct. It could be by the time this video goes out, Mars has already gone stationary direct, but we're still in that kind of shadow period. And so it's still, although it's kind of breaking a little bit, it will be still an influence. Now, if you've been working through blocks and shadows, this will kind of be about how far you've come, or any advice to kind of round this up as we kind of move into a period where we're moving forward again more rapidly. If you've had stuff coming up that has been bugging you, like the bug in the water, then this will be about how to move forwards with that. We'll see what comes up. Obviously, these readings are directed specifically towards you, hopefully if we've got the right pile. But just like the bug with the in the water, do look for signs. The way that you communicate, as I say in my introduction to the tarot course, on my membership, on my website, and also in my intuition and psychic development bundle on my membership site, on my website, it's about you building up the way that the communication between you and spirit works. You set what the messages mean, and then the universe will respond to that by giving you messages. I also do want to say, I'm just about to read from the book here, but you can use I can't say the word, divination using books anytime you want. Just pick up a book called to, flick through and open at the page. But we've already picked a card, so we're going to go with reading this card out, if I can find it again now. I did just want to get that in because that was a message that came through, and of course I can't find it now. Let me go back to the beginning. Lion Spirit. Lion Spirit is 113. That was it, 113. Let's flick through to 113. And I won't read out the whole thing because they're quite long. I'll just read out the first paragraph. Oracle message. A healthy ego means you ease God's order instead of edging God out. I apologise if you've got religious trauma. Please replace the word God with source or spirit or is or anything that you replace that with, I know a lot of people have religious trauma. I'm just reading from the book. Lion Spirit's appearance is a reminder that you have been given a gift of pride and healthy sense of your worth to express your divine, authentic self in a unique way. You are both the king and queen, secure in your prosperity and wisdom and generous of spirit as you help others. Take pride in your ability to serve from your heart. Contentment with what you have right now allows you to use your resources wisely as you give to others in ways that educate, heal, inspire and delight. Yeah, I thought so. We've got a lot of light workers in this group. I did feel like I said, and this is a time to blossom. Don't feel that this being held back is to your detriment. Like I said, if we're being stopped, if we're being asked to look within, and I know light workers know to look within. If you're struggling with any of this, my membership site, my website, I look at blocks and block removal, I look at protection, I look at energy cleansing, clearing and charging, all vital parts. If you're not above that, then if you're not on top of that, sorry, then you might like to go to my website and have a look at some of my membership on there. We are blossoming here, and I get that what I was reading out is if you're not feeling you're in that space, you are moving towards that space. That is where we are heading here. Let's have a look at some of these starseed cards. Dreams. The universe speaks to you through your dreams. Yeah, I know dreams have been heightened a lot personally as the energy raises, as we're moving into the as we're moving into the awakening times. There is a lot more energy, and my dreams certainly get more intense as well. But as I was saying about the communication from the universe, look to your dreams as well for your guidance. I always feel that when I'm off track a little bit, there'll always be a dream that will bump me back on track and tell me where I'm kind of going wrong a little bit, or a little bit off track. But I had a lot of guidance this morning with particular issues that I've been having around habits. Obviously, I'm guided to say this not just to explain my life. Obviously, this is hopefully going to resonate with you as well. But it's about, sometimes it can be about changing our routines as well, introducing new routines. And it's all about tackling those habitual thought patterns very often. Blue flame. Connect to the blue flame, which is the light of pure love within you. Yeah, I'm getting with that a little bit of meditation. It could be, I know I mentioned the chakras, that's been coming up a lot recently. Meditation to clear the chakras. Like I said, I'm doing a bundle about that. Hopefully that will be available soon. But I mean, you can get that kind of information anywhere anyway. So a little bit of meditation. Now it's saying around the love within you. Obviously that would be heart chakra. Blue obviously is associated with the throat chakra, which is obviously next to the heart chakra. All the chakras are linked, but obviously the closest two chakras, or one, if it's the root or the crown chakra, are linked very closely. But I would certainly, what I'm getting here is I would certainly be looking at the heart chakra with the throat chakra and the solar plexus as well, which fits in quite well with this lion spirit. And I just got a dumbing down of the energy. We've been dumbing down our power, we've been dumbing down our energy. Let that source energy shine through you as a beacon to the world. It is needed right now. We know it's hard, there's likely to be blocks, there's likely to be shadow work to be done, but that's the message certainly that's coming through for you here. And lastly here, inner worlds. Oh my good Lord, your external world is a reflection of your inner world. Yeah, like I say in the bundle, if you're really stuck as to where your blocks are, look outside, look at your external world. your external world will show you exactly where your blocks are. What is it that you want that you're not getting? What is it that you want gone that's not going? What is it that keeps showing up in your life? We're looking for themes, regular themes, over and over again. That's where we're going to be needing to go in, be retrospective, be very consciously aware. What is the thought pattern around that? What is the thought pattern behind that? And off to our Osho Zen, the rebel. All us light workers are rebels, aren't we? Not prepared to fit into the set system, because the system was set up to suppressors and oppressors, specifically to stop us shining our light and being generous of spirit. Remember, everything that you give to someone else, you give to yourself as well, because everything we give comes back to us. That's karma. Everything we give out comes back to us tenfold. And you might not always see that. It doesn't always come back in the same way that we give it. But please remember, everything that we give to the collective does come back to us. And every time you support someone else, this is something I really, really, truly learned in my one-on-one sessions, my coaching sessions, and when I was doing private readings as well. Very often, I would get people coming through who would need the message that I would need. So as I would give a message, I would be, oh my goodness, that's probably exactly what I needed to hear right now. And as we give, so we receive. And I really do get that with this generous of spirit and the heart chakra, the rose quartz, and the love as well. Don't be worried if you upset a few people. Well, don't purposely upset people. That's not being generous of spirit, is it? But don't be worried if we do rebel against convention or the norms. It's going to happen, because the system is set up specifically to suppress that lion spirit. Your direct connection with spirit, your power. Yeah? Right, what have we got now? Guilt. Now, I don't normally take reverse cards, but I am actually going to reverse that here. Guilt could be a theme that you've been experiencing through recently. Obviously, this is a timeless reading, so if you're not watching this at the time of me posting it, it could be a thing that you've been experiencing recently. Maybe you've already turned that on its head. And once again, it is actually a thing that's come up for me. Where have we been taught to be guilty about things that we shouldn't really necessarily, it isn't really in our best interest to feel guilty about? Where have we been suppressing ourselves? Once again, the same thing, dumbing ourselves down to fit in, to not upset people. But guilt is definitely a theme. But from this, I'm getting you've already turned it on. You've already done the work. So if you were looking for confirmation of that, there's your confirmation. If you're still working through this, there's your confirmation. If you're looking for where your blocks are, have a look at where you're feeling guilty. Because guilty is an artificial construct. It's a construct of our minds. Now, obviously, I'm not saying if you've done something really bad, you shouldn't feel guilty about it. You shouldn't, well, feeling guilty about it's not going to help anything. But, you know, obviously guilt is a normal reaction if we've done something wrong. But sometimes, like I say, these are constructs that need to be turned on their head. Is this something I should be feeling guilty about? Is this something that benefits me feeling guilty about? Can I do anything about it? Do I need to do anything about it? Is this going to be helpful? And a lot of the times, and I get in this case as well, it isn't. Because guilt has been applied to us to dumb us down. And we've taken on that guilt and we're carrying that forward. This is a time to blossom, to build that beautiful golden energy into the world. because it's so needed. Moving on. Oh, beautiful. Moving on. Moving on from what hasn't worked. Moving on from what has held us back. I do get with this group, a lot of this work has already been done. The guilt's been turned on its head. We have moved on. We're ready to blossom. We've shifted a lot of energy here. I see a lot of energy being swirled around and shifted and moved on. There's a lot of questioning that's been going on here. Why am I doing this? Is this in my highest and best interest? Is this in the world's highest and best interest? Is this making me feel what I want to feel? Is this helping me align with spirit? Is this helping me align with myself? Is this helping me align with with the manifestations I want to create? I get that a lot of this work's been done, and I do get with this group, a lot of this is just confirmation. Let's have a look what else we get. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. You certainly don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. I know back in the olden days when I started doing this work, it was very isolating and so few people were on the same wavelength. It has changed 100% since the olden days when I started my path. There's so many more people on the same wavelength here. There's so many people waking up. There's so many people already awakened. You really don't have to do it alone. And there is, please join me on social media. Please join me on my membership site. I'm not going to keep going on about it, but there is an ability to connect with other like-minded people on there. If no one else, then me, certainly, on the community discussions on there. But please join me on social media. I'd love to see you there. But don't feel you have to do this alone. This doesn't have to be a lonely path. And we have Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. There we go. Sisterhood again. I'm not discussing gender here. Whatever gender you are, excuse me, whatever gender you identify with. Obviously, sisterhood refers to the divine feminine, which we all have. And obviously, we have to have not just a priest, but a priestess as well. Whatever gender you identify as, it really doesn't matter. Well, because it matters to you. I'm not saying it doesn't matter to you, but this is not gender specific, is what I'm trying to say very badly. But mystic and teacher. This is definitely a more advanced group here spiritually. We are looking at light workers. If you needed confirmation of that, if not, if you already know, then please don't feel offended if I'm telling you what you already know. Mystic and teacher, if you wanted confirmation, this is your path. Absolutely, 100,000,000%. You are meant to teach, you are meant to guide, and you don't have to do it alone. I'm not going to mention my membership site on my website again, but there's always support there for you. Let me move my coffee and pick up the last card. Let me have a drink because, sorry, throat chakra's blocking up a little bit. I don't know if you're having a little bit of that. That's strange, that coming up now, just after here. If you're not ready, you don't have to do it yet. Get yourself in a position where you feel ready. If you need some support, then get that support. Spirit is never going to push you to anything that you're not ready to do. If you're still working through your stuff, still work through your stuff. But Lion Spirit is all about courage and strength and moving forward. This is where Spirit is guiding you to go. I get that you already know that. If you're not ready, if you don't quite feel you're there yet, don't worry. Just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. You will get there. Oh, this is funny. Trust the niggle. What is the niggle feeling trying to tell you exactly what I said earlier with the bug in the water. If you're not feeling ready, if you're feeling blocked, that is where to start working from. Look at your external world to see what needs to be adjusted in your internal world. You are ready to blossom. The work has been going on. You have been introspective. You have been looking in. You have been looking to the blocks. And I get that it's to do a lot with fitting in, rebelling against the ideologies that you've been taught, specifically around guilt. And I just got, you're not good enough, or I'm not good enough. I don't know whether you were told that as a child or whether that's a thought pattern that you've adopted. It's a very common thought pattern, is it? You're not good enough. This is silly. This is nonsense. You need to get sensible. You need to do this. You need to do that. Guilt. This is not a path you can follow. This is not a real job. This is not this. This is not that. Whatever it was you were told. That was a strong, strong, strong message that I had coming through. So I hope you can resonate with that on some level. If it's any of those thought patterns that need shifting, the block is around the throat chakra, and obviously the throat chakra is around communication. It's around expressing yourself, and what may be blocking you here is the niggle. I'm not good enough. I'm not ready yet, or any of the other kind of words or sentences that just came through to me there. Wow, well, that was quite an impressive reading there. I really do hope that helped. There was a lot of messages coming through there. That was an absolutely beautiful reading. My beautiful light workers. I hope that helped. I hope you resonated with that. I hope that helped, and thank you so much for joining me, and I'll leave it there, and I hope to see you in another reading. Thanks for joining me, beautiful light workers. Bye. Hi, beautiful group 2, and here is your reading. You got the buffalo. You chose the buffalo spirit, the abundant universe will provide, and the selenite. Now, this is the only group that I didn't have a handle on exactly what this was going to be before we start, because, excuse me, the buffalo spirit, an abundant universe will provide, doesn't seem to me to resonate with the selenite, which to me is all about angelic protection and angelic protection. So it could be maybe you see that differently. We shall see as we get on with your reading. And so I'm going to shuffle some cards here for you. And oh no, we want that one. That was unexpected. Lots of unexpected. Has there been lots of unexpected occurrences? Confusing, unexpected occurrences that you can't quite fathom out recently. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Like I said, this was the only one I didn't know where we were going before we started. And I don't normally shuffle and choose. They don't normally kind of say, no, there, stop there. We want that one. We want that one. They normally let me finish shuffling first. So I'm getting confusion and unexpected events perhaps with this group. Let's see what else we get here. Have a few of these. One thing is for sure that I'm getting is the universe is telling you that you will be provided for. The abundant universe will provide. I was going to try and squeeze that card up there, but I don't think it'll go. And maybe that's how you've been feeling, like you're juggling things around, like you have to be juggling things around, moving things around, adjusting things. And that's certainly something that I've been experiencing as well. So And it's certainly something that I have seen those around me experiencing as well. It's kind of like, well, maybe if I do this, it'll be better. Especially with me with routines, trying to adjust routines to adjust the energy, to shift the energy, because obviously routines build energy, and so you kind of sit in that habitual pattern. When you're in a routine, you kind of sit in that habitual pattern, and that's not a bad thing if it's working for you. But often when we're ascending, you have to kind of shift the pattern, and sometimes, a lot of the time with me, obstacles will come up that will, bang, stop. You're not doing that today. You're doing this. And it can be upsetting, and it can be kind of like, well, what? I wasn't planning on doing, well, what are we doing then? And it can be quite confusing and upsetting. And so, yeah, I get a lot of that. Now, what have we got here? Refusing to see. Ah, that makes sense. But it was in reverse. Refusing to see. Let's have a little bit of a look. Success and growth. Ah, it's not that you're refusing to see. You're trying to see, but the confusion is blocking that you're being blocked. You are blocking yourself from seeing what the issue is. And the issue is, we have twice here, success and abundance. Success and abundance. Are you talking yourself down here? Are you saying, I'm not where I want to be, or it's not going as quickly as I want, or this is not working, or I don't have what I need? Something along those lines here. You need to step back and move into that gratitude. Now, that sounded very bossy. You need to. Obviously, you don't need to do anything. You need to follow your own guidance. But what I'm getting here is they're quite strongly saying, let's have a look at where things are working. Let's have a look at where I do have what I need. Let's have a look at where things are going well. Let's have a look at where I am being provided for. Let's have a look at where I am being successful. And it's not that you're refusing to see. It's not that you've got your eyes closed. You've got your eyes open and you're looking for the answer, but you just can't seem to find it. That's what all this confusion is about. And that's why it seems you're coming up against these roadblocks, these diversions, these blocks to help you move forward. They're getting you to stop, to look at this. It's not that there's a problem. It's not that you're being stopped going where you need to go. It's not that you're not going to get what it is that you want. It's that you're being asked to slow down and stop and look. Here is where it is. Yeah? Things are going okay. Things are going well. You are being supported. And I know it always doesn't feel like that. But this is the message that's coming through for you today. Consciousness reversed. Let's have a look over here as well. And harmony reversed. Now, like I said, this is very unusual because I don't normally take reverse cards, but I'm getting to take the reverse cards in this. And we have consciousness and harmony both in reverse. I would wonder whether you feel that these blocks, these halts, these diversions have completely knocked you off your track, your consciousness and your harmony. This is not to remove that from you. This is to get you to look at where you're blocked. I get that. It's not that you're not consciously aware. It's not that you don't know how to do that. It's not that you don't know how to find harmony, but you feel that all these divergence and upsets and issues that have been coming up have knocked you off track. This is something I would suggest we spin on its head. Find that first. Get back to that. Sorry, you already know how to get there. Get back to that first, that inner peace, that consciousness, that harmony. We can start by switching the way we see things a little bit. I do get that this is complicated. Straight away, what was the first thing I said? This was the only pile I didn't know where we were going. And it was emphasised with this refusing to see reversed. It's not that you're refusing to see. It's just this is difficult to grasp. It's difficult to grasp. But you're only going to grasp it when we're back in that conscious harmony. Because once we're in the conscious harmony and we're back into the gratitude of where are things working, what is growing in the way that I want it to do. If there's blocks, it's because we're being asked to look within. Once we're back in that space, we connect in. Once again, this is nothing new to you. I get this is absolutely nothing new to you. This is about getting back there. This is not about getting there. This is getting back there. Once we're in that harmony and consciousness, we can start to pick up those messages again. Awakening. There you go. I see. Energetic upgrades. A new way of being. Integration. This is all about awakening. This is all about awakening, and this is exactly what awakening looks like. Things have to be shaken up. These blocks have to be brought to the surface to be removed. And if you don't, like I said in the introduction, if you didn't watch the introduction, don't worry, it doesn't matter. Sometimes our routine has to get shaken up. Sometimes we have to be stopped so that we can look within. If you don't know how to do block removal, there's videos on YouTube. There's more videos on my free stuff on my website, styleartworkcircle.com. There's a full bundle, ever-growing library on my full membership site on my website. And I do get that you're being not blocked here. I do get that you're trying to see, you just can't find it. You just need that little bit of guidance. And I do get this is that you're on your path to awakening. And this is what it looks like. When you raise your energy, all the blocks come up for removal. All the energy, the emotion from the thoughts and the beliefs that are stored in your aura and in your chakras and in your energy system come up for removal. And we have to look at those and release them. Like I say, there's more on my membership site, on my website. Sometimes we have to change our routines because there's energy in the routines, and when we change the routines, shake that energy up. How can we improve this? How can we change this? How can we remove energy that is holding us back? So please don't feel this is working against you. This is all for your higher good, even if it doesn't feel like that right now. And things do have to change for that to happen. And sometimes, and in most cases, a lot of the time, that is unsettling, unfortunately. And lastly, we have deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. Wow, how is that for these two? And for these two as well. It may be, if at all possible, we can take a little bit of time to rest, get back into that consciousness, get back into that harmony, realign to that, realign to the looking at things from a positive angle. Where are you being successful? I won't say it again, I said it before. And where are you being protected? Where are you being guided? Look at this from a new perspective, possibly. That can make all the difference, because perspective is everything, isn't it? That is what awakening is. It's about shifting our perspective, and very often that involves disruption, because we have to shake the energy up. You're not being blocked, you're not being held back, you're being asked to realign your energy. And it's not that you're refusing to see, you're looking, you're trying, and you just have not been able to see this so far. Oh, the Page of Cups. Yeah. Once again, it's about connecting into your emotions. How are you feeling? You do deserve to feel good. You do deserve to feel happy. That's what Spirit wants. That is your alignment. Getting into that joy and peace and love, that is your natural state. This shouldn't be a struggle. It shouldn't be difficult. Nothing is being withheld from you. You can have everything you wish for, but you have to get into that alignment first, in touch with that emotional nature. And I know it's hard when we're going through all this stuff. I know it's hard when we're facing all this disruption, but that really is what you're being asked to do. Get back into that alignment. If blocks do come up, if issues do come up that knock you off track, it's to get you to take a step back and look at the energy and reassess what's going on, what needs to shift internally so that it can shift externally. Right, we've got two more. Fruition. Rest assured your dreams and vision will come to fruition. Where it is you're going, you are destined to go. Please don't doubt that. Please don't doubt that. If you were wondering why you've been disrupted, this is the reason why. It's to get you removing the blocks, removing the shadows, so you can move forward to the place that you have decided you're going to. Don't allow it to knock you off your emotional and aligned track. That's where we need to be getting back to. Guidance. You are not alone. You are guided by masters and teachers of the highest realms. Oh, that's beautiful. You are supported. You will be provided for. You are protected. Please remember that you are. Right, I'm going to read just a little passage from Buffalo Spirit. If I can find it, it's 31. Let's have a look. I won't read the whole thing. I shall just read out the first paragraph. Buffalo Spirit comes to you now to remind you of the amazing manifesting power of gratitude and the extraordinary potential available to you when you adopt a mindset of abundance. The ancient people of the Americas saw the buffalo as a symbol of abundance because the herds roamed far and wide and provided so many gifts: the meat, the hide, the bones. The tribes who hunted the buffalo used every bit of them, wasting nothing, appreciative of the abundance. So too do you have many gifts available to you. Oh, absolutely. Buffalo Spirit appears to let you know that you are in a powerful time to manifest your desires, not by force or pushing, but rather by following a natural path that rises up before you, trusting there is always plenty to go around, whether it be love, money, inspiration or support. It's all there for you to claim. Wow, that fits in so well with what we got so far, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to leave it there. Beautiful group 2. I hope that has resonated with you. I hope you understand the message coming through for you today, and I hope that's provided some guidance and support for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Please, if you've found this useful, please like, subscribe, share, do all the things, comment, let me know how you found this reading. I really do appreciate it. The links to my social media are in the description description box below. I'd love you to join me there, as is a link to my website, my PayPal tip jar, my Amazon gift list. Always appreciated, never expected. A like would be very much appreciated though, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, lovely group 2. Hello, beautiful group 3. If you chose the wasp spirit, sometimes life stings, and the snowflake obsidian. Now, unlike the previous group, as soon as we got the card with the crystal, I knew exactly where this was going to go. But between reading 2 and reading 3, some quite not unusual things happened, but I knew that they were messages. Firstly, I took a break. Now, I don't like to take a break in the readings, because once I get in the zone, I like to stay there. And I do get that this is perhaps something that's happening to you. It certainly was a theme in group 2, and I keep getting called to group 2, although group 2 is very, very different. So I do wonder whether you've had a lot of disruptions that have left you feeling uncomfortable. You were in the zone, you were getting there, and then you feel, boof, you're knocked off track. Next, now, I do want to say, sometimes life stings, and the snowflake obsidian. The snowflake obsidian to me is, even though it's got these beautiful little white snowflakes in it, it's a black crystal. And to me, black crystals are usually about protection. If I want protection, spiritual, energetic protection, I will look towards a black crystal. And I do explore that. I've done videos on YouTube. There's more videos on my free stuff on my membership site, free stuff on my website, starlightworkcircle.com, and there's even more stuff there's a full bundle on energetic and psychic protection on my membership site, on my website as well, if you're interested in that at all. But wasp spirit, sometimes life stings, suggested to me that you're having a particularly difficult time. The other odd thing that happened was I was putting the cards away from group 2, and I realised that one of the cards, I can't remember what deck it was now, I think it was the Work Your Light Oracle deck, had got stuck underneath another pile. And I thought, well, that's a bit unusual, because I thought I would have noticed that, but obviously I didn't. When I pulled it out, the card was boundaries. So I get that, excuse me again, my throat chakra's being a little bit blocked as well. So that may be an issue, speaking your truth and saying no, laying those boundaries. We're also getting now noise outside. Now I do have builders next door. It seems to have been an issue lately, but I did this reading purposely early, because they only seem to be here kind of in the afternoon and evening, and so I specifically did this reading early so that we'd avoid the noise. But still there's noise outside. It seems like there's more interruptions. Also, my elderly cat, who I've shut out of the room while I'm doing the reading because she gets quite noisy, also decided while I was taking a break, and I'd been guided to take a break, had wandered in as well, and she didn't want to leave. So I get that people, situations, circumstances have perhaps been intruding on your time, and we need a little bit of protection. We need a few more boundaries. Now, I was also led to read out this snowflake obsidian. It's actually from my Crystal Wisdom book. It's a set of divination. You can use crystals for divination. I'm just going to read it out because it's a short interpretation, but you'll see why in a second. A challenging and difficult time is coming to an end. You now have the ability to make a dramatic shift in consciousness, so you can start to see life from a totally different viewpoint. As you feel yourself being guided along your path towards the light, experience enlightenment and spiritual inspiration. To see the good in other people and difficult situations, allow yourself to be guided by your own spiritual truth and values. Now, I don't normally have such a long introduction to a reading, but I did want to kind of explain how it seemed to me as if I was in the flow and I'd kind of been knocked off the flow, and I get that this is perhaps what you've been experiencing. And it seems like it's interruption, obstacle. But this is a lot to do with boundaries as well. And it could be that there has been some hurt, sometimes life stings around this. But like with the throat chakra being activated as well, it could be a lot to do with speaking up. But as always, now let's actually get on to picking the cards. Oh, no, that one again. I had this with, was it group 1? I think where they were just, oh, that card, and that's not normal. Oh, we've got 4, I guess. Okay, that's unusual. Let's pick those 4. We'll see what they are in a second. Let's have a look at the Osho Zen pack. We'll see what we get here. 2. Ooh. And once again, we've knocked the floating candle. I'll say again, I did get in another reading, I was asked to do this, but this is perhaps relevant here as well. When I was filling the bowl with water to put floating candle in, there was actually a little bug in the water, and I wonder whether you've been having little things coming up that have been bugging you as well. There we go, like the cards not fitting. We need some work your light cards as well. Let's get a few of these. And let's space these out a little, because it looks like we're going to be doing it like this. See, I don't always know where Spirit's going with this, so we have to take it as it comes. And I don't wonder if that's a message for you. I'm going to give that as a message for you as well, with this situation. And I want to take 2, but there's no room for 2, is there? But I really want to take 2. And I do get that this is what you've been experiencing as well. It's like, well, we know we're going here, but I can't do that. So what are we going to do then? Jiggling things around. Maybe jiggling your routine around. Now, I'm very uncomfortable with this because they should be in a line. So maybe you've been quite uncomfortable with the way things are going. There we go. See, just issue after issue. I didn't have any of these with the other readings at all, and I've completely knocked the bowl, and now it's spilt onto the fairy lights. It's obstacle after obstacle, issue after issue, uncomfortable situation after uncomfortable situation, unusual situation after unusual situation. And I do get this is a message for you. I get this is what you've been experiencing. And now I'm confused which card to get. So I do get it's kind of led to confusion. Now, if you listen to the introduction, this reading was specifically aimed at this. It's like, well, why is all this happening? I can't kind of figure it out. I'm confused. And why is this hurting so much? And why am I getting these obstacles? I'm doing this reading, if you didn't listen to the introduction, I'm doing this reading specifically as we're moving. We've had, obviously this is a timeless reading, but this is about boundaries and, sorry, not boundaries, but we did have that come up. This is about blocks and shadow work that's been coming up for removal. I'm recording this video just as we're coming to the end of, we're just about to hit Mars stationary direct. Now, we've had Mars and Mercury retrograde all over Christmas and the New Year. What this has meant is we've been slowed down in moving forward in the physical world so that we can look within and deal with blocks and shadow work. And I really am getting that so strongly here. This is what this is all about. Everything that I've just said, the obstacles, the issues that have been coming up, the wasp stinging us, life hurts sometimes, and it's been causing confusion, and it's been causing anguish, and it's been causing upset. And I do get that really, really strongly. I got that straight away with this reading, and it is about these blocks, it is about the shadow work. And it is also about boundaries as well. Right, now I've said that, I'm drawn to this. There we go. Exhaustion and travelling reversed. I get, sometimes we do just get exhausted with our routine, with the pressures we place on ourselves, whether these have been given us by other people or these are self-imposed. What Spirit wants to say very strongly here is life is a journey. We are not taking that. I don't normally do reverse cards, but these readings I have been taking, I seem to be guided to take reverse cards. We've not been walking the path as a journey. We've been walking the path as a destination, and it's leading to exhaustion. It could be that you have been asked to stop, to relax, to rest, to readjust your perception of your life, of where you're going, and how you view that, how you perceive that, and how you experience that. Certainly with all the obstacles that have been placed in my way, just even during this reading, and I do get a lot of uncomfortable feeling, especially around the solar plexus. We have a lot of, it seems we have a lot of up around routines, around habits that are very unhelpful to your happiness, to your ascension, to your alignment, and to your manifestation. And it's felt like life is stinging. It's felt uncomfortable. The universe is wanting, it's felt confusing, it's felt uncomfortable, it's felt confusing. You don't know why this is happening, and you don't know what to do about it. Let's have a little bit of a look here, and another in reverse as well. Mintican, I don't know what that means. Mintican. Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. See, confusion, not understanding what's going on, and that was in reverse. If you are aware that you're a light worker, this is confirmation of that. It could be that you've been confused or doubting that recently, or it could be that you don't even know that you are a light worker. But something has been blocking that perception, that knowledge. Maybe all this situation, maybe it's been called you to doubt that. You are a light worker. You're having these obstacles placed in your path because you need a shift in your perception. Whether you're already aware of this and it's just about implementing that, or whether that is just about recognising that. Let's have a look at this one. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Right. If you are aware that you have channeling abilities, this is confirmation of that. If you are not aware of that, this is letting you know that that is what's happening. Channeling and uplifting humanity. You have to be perceptually aware. You have to be aligned to spirit. You have to be in that place of joy and love and happiness as much as possible before you can give that. Spirit doesn't want you to suffer. This is not here to make you suffer. This is about making you look at the situations, people, places, circumstances that are causing you to become exhausted. The situations that make life feel that they sting, and shifting that perception and raising that perception. And that is uncomfortable sometimes, and it is upsetting sometimes, and it is confusing sometimes. But this is about leading you to that place where you are in alignment so that you can fulfill your place as a light worker in sharing that with humanity, whatever that looks like. Teach reversed. I'm not sure I need to say anything about that. Clearly, you are meant to teach. You are meant to bring that in whatever form that is. And that is being blocked. You are either not recognising that or doubting that. Or maybe these situations have made you doubt that. Please don't doubt that. We are getting aligned so that we can teach people and explain to people what this alignment and atonement and awakening looks like. It is uncomfortable. It is hard work. Sometimes it looks like we're being blocked, but it's all about getting into that alignment ourselves, but also looking at examining what blocks us and where we need a little bit of energy work, maybe a little bit of protection. And all of these, as I said, I've done videos on YouTube. There's more on free stuff on my website, and there's even more on my membership site, starlightworkcircle.com. I'm not going to keep banging on about it, but there is help available there for you. This is why I do this, and I get that you'll be doing this at some point as well. Rebuild reversed. I wonder very much thank you. I wonder very much whether you've had a particularly difficult situation. What I'm being shown here is either a breakdown of a long-term relationship, or the loss of a job perhaps, but something major. Excuse me, major. I keep getting throat chakra interruptions, and I get that this is because you have not been vocalising or not expressing the hurt that you have felt over this. The hurt and the pain that you have felt over this. We need, once again, I'm readjusting the cards. We need to readjust circumstances that make us a little bit more comfortable. This is about rebuilding. The rebuilding of the self, the rebuilding of the heart and the heart chakra. I hope you could see that. And certainly, oh, excuse me, can you take it off me now, please, Spirit? We've got the message, thank you. Sometimes that does involve expressing that in whatever form that you need to do that. Now, if you have someone that you can speak to, please speak to them, because I do get a lot about verbal communication. If you have a counsellor, go out and see the counsellor. If you have a good friend or a family member you can speak to, go out and see them. Even if it's talking to your pet, or even I've heard people speak to cuddly toys. You can do this too. You can express anything as long as you're getting it out and as long as you feel it's been expressed. If that brings tears, then so be it. Let the pain go, release the pain, work through the pain. Don't suppress the pain. Get help if you need help. Another way you can do this is my favourite way of doing this, because I'm not a very vocal person, although I know you'd be surprised hearing that from this video, is journaling. you can either do this, just get a notebook and just free write. You can type it on your typewriter. You can type it on your computer, on your laptop. Just get it out, get it written. You can write letters to people if you wish. You don't have to send them. In fact, often it's not helpful to send them anyway, because you may not get the response that you want. But it's about expressing that emotion. It doesn't have to be to a particular person. It's about you, not about other people. This is about getting that emotion out, releasing that emotion. Like I say, get help if you need it, get a counsellor, get professional help if you feel overwhelmed by this. But this is about releasing that emotion so that you can rebirth, so that you can have that confidence again in where we're going, so that we understand and recognise this doesn't have to be about us exhausting ourselves trying to create what maybe we've been told we should or shouldn't be. It's about a journey. It's about you travelling on your journey and experiencing that and finding the joy in that as much as possible. Now, if you do identify as a starseed Pleiadian, please take the Pleiades card as confirmation of that. So I'm confused again. I don't know where I'm going. Is it this one? Is it this one? Let's do both. Make a decision and stick to it. Make a decision and stick to it. Gratitude. Universal love shines through the miracles of life all around you. And magnificence. You are amazing, magnificent and unique. But most importantly, you are enough. Pretty much what I'd expect. Move back into that gratitude energy, that positive energy as much as we can. We're travelling on a journey. We're moving through it. Release all the pain, if verbally if possible. If not, maybe through a journal or a letter, as I said. And let's move into this positive energy, gratitude, and understanding how magnificent and perfect we are, particularly if we've had our confidence knocked a little bit through pain, through confusion, through being knocked off track. And let's have a look. Channel. Oh, once again, you are a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. The same thing, channeling and uplifting humanity. But we have to get into that light first. And to get into that light, we have to do the block work and the shadow work, block removal and shadow work. We have to be introspective and conscious, look within. Where are our thoughts and beliefs blocking us? How do we remove them? And this is one of the major things I deal with on my block removal. Like I said, videos on YouTube, more on my free stuff, even more on my membership site. One of the major ways of doing that is through speaking or through journaling, but we have to work through that energy. There's no point pushing it down and shifting our perspective to a higher vibrational perspective. It really is spiritual alignment, and ascension really is all about perception, but we have to shift the blocks, the blocked energy that's sitting in our aura, that are sitting in our energy system, that are sitting in our chakra. We have to release that by recognising, going within, recognising where we've been hurt and releasing that energy. And finally, we have inner alchemy. Inner alchemy is achieved when you react to fear with love. Wow, how beautiful to finish on. It's about changing that fear into love. And that may seem a long way off now. It may be that the pain is overwhelming. There maybe have been too many stings for us to see that right now. But everything that's happening is aimed at shifting us onto that. It is our blocks coming up for removal. When we begin to ascend, when we raise our energy, blocks will come up for removal because they are sat in our aura and they are keeping our energy low. They will come up for removal. What that looks like, if you didn't watch the intro, was maybe you've been triggered by something, maybe situations have occurred. It seems like certainly situations have occurred. It could be things coming up from the past, being reminded of pain from the past, or themes from the past, or old habits from the past. Like I say, I explain all of this in my block removal bundle. But right, one more thing. My book fell to the floor, so I have to rummage on the floor to get the book, which seems to be the theme of this particular reading. We're going to read just the first paragraph from the Wasp Spirit book 188. Sometimes life stings. Not all that spirit creates in nature is easy to love, but when we look through the eyes of Wasp Spirit, we recognise that even though sometimes life stings, there is a purpose for pain, just as there is a purpose for wasps in the natural world. Wasps keep insect populations down, supporting the growth of plants. So too, the sting of life may hurt you, and you may feel deeply disappointed or even resentful that Wasp Spirit has shown up. But you will soon come to see that Wasp has something wonderful in store for you. You may well come to realise that being stung led to something far better than you had envisioned for yourself. Perhaps behind the scenes, Wasp Spirit was conspiring with Spirit to ensure that you could grow something of value to you. Spirit has a plan, and Wasp Spirit plays a part. Wow, how fitting was that for the reading of as a whole. That was a beautiful way to end the reading, and I'm going to end it here. I hope that has brought you some comfort and clarity and guidance, and I hope you resonated. I hope you resonated with that. I don't know why I use that word when it is so hard for me to say it. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like, share, comment. I would love to hear how you resonated with this. Subscribe, click the bell, you'll be notified. Obviously, I'm sure you know when I release new videos. A link to my website and all my social media is in the description below, along with my PayPal tip jar and my Amazon wish list. And any donations are always gratefully received, never expected. I really do hope that's helped. It does seem like you're going through quite a difficult period at the moment. I really do hope that has helped. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm wishing you lots and lots of love and light, and I really do hope things improve soon. Keep moving forward. You do have an important role here. Spirit does have a role for you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you'll join me in another reading. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Hi, beautiful group 4. If you chose the Dove Spirit, Be Peace, and the Green Adventuring. Now, I'm getting a very different feel about this group to the other groups. If you didn't read the introduction, the theme of this reading is about blocks and block removal and shadow work. We've just, well, obviously this is a timeless reading, but as I'm recording this, we're just coming out of a period where Mercury and Mars have been retrograde. Mars is just about to go stationary direct as I'm doing this reading, and it has meant that a lot of things have been put on hold. They've been held back. Things have seemed blocked for a lot of people. A lot of blocks have been coming up, and shadow work has been coming up for removal. And it causes, obviously, ascension and awakening causes this to happen. As we raise our energy, we're called to remove blocks from and shadows from our energy system, from our aura, from our chakras, that will prevent us from raising our energy higher. I do get from group number 4, however, you've been having an easier time than the other 3 groups. And I do just want to read briefly the Adventurine. I'm going to pull some more cards in a minute, but I want to read the Dove Spirit, and I do want to read the Adventurine from these crystals are from the Crystal Wisdom book. It's quite an old system now, but I do want to read the Adventuring. Excuse me, the Adventuring. Your life is moving into a phase of growth and expansion. Broaden your vision and look at the wider picture to see how you can grow as a person. Aspire to the highest at all times and avoid anything that limits you. Discover ways of increasing your knowledge and expanding your mind. This may be a time for you to develop your gifts as a healer. Find ways to set yourself free from old thought patterns and let the new you emerge. Yeah. The first thing I noticed when I had the card, pulled the card with the Adventuring, was this is obviously to do with love and peace. Be peaceful is what the Dove Spirit says. And I do get that really strongly around this group, that you already have that feeling of love and of peace. Obviously the green Adventuring, being green, is linked to the heart chakra, and I do get that's very expanded in you already. I get that any work that you've been asked to do is much more gentle because you've already done such a lot of work. It may not feel like that but it doesn't seem to be, the blocks and the shadows doesn't seem to be as extreme as I found in the other groups, which is quite nice to end on this more peaceful reading here. I do get that it's going to be more peaceful. Right, I'm going to read Dove Spirit out. It's 64. Let's have a look. 64. 6 and 4 is a 10. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and 1 is about self, and shining your light is about the sun. Number 1 corresponds to the sun, which is about shining your light. So I do get Wheel of Fortune, things are changing, which is pretty much what the Green Adventuring says, moving into a new phase. But like I get from this reading, it's much more peaceful and delicate than we've had so far. Right, let me read this, just the first paragraph. With her peaceful cooing, the gentle dove invites you to embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. You always have the power to generate peace within you, and the appearance of Dove Spirit is a reminder that today and every day is a good day to meditate, to quiet any turbulence within as you embody tranquility. Above, below, and all around you, much may be happening to distract you, but you are called to engage it with the heart of a peacemaker, asking yourself, what would peace do? Can you agree to disagree? I really genuinely do get that with this reading. You're already in that state. If you've been disturbed by situations going on around you, or you're wondering why these situations are occurring, stay in that peace, stay in that love. It really is that this situation is just called to bring your attention to a few things. It doesn't have to disturb you. Let's have a look. Let's pull some more cards, because we need a little bit of extra guidance here, don't we? So let's pull some more cards and have a look what else we have to... No, that's it. Okay, we're going to have 3 of these. Unlike the other readings now, I'm going to pull the cards. I'm going to turn the cards and then move on. No, I'm not taking reverse cards in this. No, I'm not taking reverse cards in this. Although they seem they're all reversed. They are all reversed. I'm not taking reverse cards here, unlike the other groups. Wow, this is so positive and uplifting. Opportunity beckons. Listen and manifest. Okay, we're in a place already of love and peace. No matter what's going on around us, let's not get distracted. We need to listen We need to pay attention to the guidance around us. It may be that blocks and shadow work are coming up for removal, but what I'm being told is you already know how to do this. You already know how to work through blocks and shadow work, whether you know it or not. That is what you're doing. We are moving into a new phase, as with the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, things are turning and we are manifesting beautiful things. I knew this was going to be a very easy and peaceful reading. I get very much that this reading is more about confirmation. You just wanted a little bit of confirmation more than anything else that all this stuff that's going on around you is not giving you some vital information that you need to change track or do this differently in any way. I see why I keep getting reverse cards, but I'm not taking reverse cards. I was given don't take reverse cards, but every single card seems to be reversed. No matter what you're handed, you just spin it on its head. How can this help me? How can this help me? How can I move forward? And all these cards are really, really, really positive. I'm getting so excited. This is such an uplifting reading. I know sometimes when blocks and shadow work come up, it can be so intense. And I've certainly even had that recently. It can be very disturbing and very upsetting. But I do get that this group particularly, you're used to this work. This is like water off a duck's back for you. So what's going on? Sometimes we may question it, but you just spin it round. Just turn the card the other way up and we can see the beauty in everything. Intensity and abundance. This is all about intensity of passion, of creativity, of thrusting forwards with new ideas and new visions and new goals and bringing that abundance in. I can't remember how this person is described. I think it's Zorba the Buddha, and it's all about having that passion for life, enjoying the physicality of life, but embodying the spirituality of that as well. Not just surface pleasures, but finding the spiritual resonance of those physical pleasures and abundance. Why do we as spirit want abundance? Because that's what we are. That is what we are, and it is all about experiencing the physicality but as a spiritual entity. And I get you already know this. So let's see what else we get here. Let's get a few more cards. Oh, is that it? We're ready already. See, we're speeding through this. Yeah, it may come a little stuck sometimes. We may have to stop and pause, but it's really not going to stop us moving forwards, is it? Deep replenishment, retreat, rest and be held. I did get this in another reading. I think it was 2. Group 2, I'm not too sure. It could be that you've been asked to pause and rest a little. I don't think this has caused a major problem. It may have raised a question in your mind, well, why have I been asked to pause? But I don't think it's anything that's going to set you off track at all. Don't dim. Here we go. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? It could be that this is the question that you've been asked. This is the next stage. How can you shine more brightly? And sometimes, I'm sorry if you can hear the noise outside. There's builders next door. I did start this reading early because they're not normally here till later, but they've obviously decided, because I'm doing this reading, that they're going to start early. I don't know why that's happened. Well, actually I do. It doesn't, the message here obviously is sometimes things come along that disturb us. We just have to turn the card on its head, turn it round and see the beauty of it. And a lot of that is about, well, okay, so people don't like you shining your light. People don't always understand it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't shine. Maybe we need to find our tribe here. Maybe we need to be looking for other light workers. If you want to join me on my social media, all the links will be in the description below. Like I said, there's my membership site as well. Don't dim your light to fit in. If this has been a question that's come up, there's your answer. Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. I don't really think you have a problem receiving messages. Sometimes we can doubt that, can't we? Sometimes we can doubt that. But in my personal experience and understanding, the Akashic records are a very, very highly advanced, high vibrational guidance source. So I do get that the information coming in is of a high source, but I really did get that all the way through. Let's pick a few more. No, let's pick a few more cards. See, that wasn't the right card, but I knew straight away, and I do get straight away as well. It is or it isn't. You might get a little bit thrown off every now and again. Is that it? No, that's not it. But you know. I think that was the one. Oh no, these two. Okay, let's have a look at these and we'll finish on this. Right, let's have a look. Fruition. Rest assured, your dreams and visions will come to fruition. I don't think I need to go into that anymore. It's clear from this. You're already on your path. You're already manifesting what you want. You're already getting the guidance, the passion, the understanding of where it is you're going, and you're already in alignment. Even if you've been knocked off path a little bit, you're already in alignment. It's just shifting the energy back. Channel. You are a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. Once again, I don't think I need to explain that to you. I think that's just confirmation for you, really. And inner alchemy. Inner alchemy is achieved when you react to fear with love. Actually, I think all of these cards have come out in other readings. I can't even remember which one. It may even have been that I do get that it could have been different readings for each of these. So if you've been called to other readings, there's your confirmation. But I really don't believe I have anything more to say. I get that you've come to this reading because you may have been thrown off track or been confused by disturbances around you, and you just want a little bit of confirmation. This is your confirmation. You're doing well, you're brilliant, you're on track, you're highly attuned, you're moving forward in a direction, you are manifesting, you are tuned in, you are picking up the energy, you are ready to enter a new cycle. Things are heading in the direction that you are wanting them to go in, and things are going to work out how you want them to work out. So well done. What a wonderful reading to end this pick a card on. Thank you so much for joining me. Beautiful group 4. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I hope you got the confirmation you needed from that. If you did like this reading, please like, share, subscribe, click the bell. You'll be notified. I'm sure you already know when I'll upload a new video. All my social media, like I've said, is in the description below, as well as a link to my website and my PayPal tip jar, and also my Amazon wish list. Always appreciated, never expected. Thank you so much for joining me. Beautiful group 4. I hope to see you in another reading. Thanks for joining me. Bye.